I think if the Beast of War still knew Daryl, they'd test the book out on his head like they used to. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Hello! Another video for Kings of War, and today we are talking about the Elves. The Elves have got a bit of change since 2nd edition in terms of background, but the main thing is they're not, from what I've read, they're not sorting out as much of the stuff they did as before because they've got a lot of problems to deal with. So, if you're reading along or listening along in the big book, which is this one, on the downloadable one, it's on starting on page 261. The armour special upgrade is Saber-Toothed Cat. The unit gains Duelist. So starting with the infantry on page 261. The Kindred Tall Spears. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 4. Troop, 12 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 90 points. Regiment, 15 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 140 points. Horde, 30 attacks, nerve 21, 23, and 230 points. Most elves have got elite, somewhere either ranged or shooting, and, well, these have got elite melee and phalanx. They're not bad. They're not bad. They've got elite, the defense of 4, but hitting on 4s, and they've got a fair number of attacks. They're pretty standard infantry, so, and they've got phalanx, so that nullifies Thunderous Charge when they're being charged. That's not bad. Now we have the Shield Watch. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 5. Troop, 10 attacks, nerve 10, 12, and 100 points. Regiment, 12 attacks, nerve 14, 16, and 155 points. Special rules, crushing strength 1 and elite melee. They're not bad at all. They've got, I'm assuming, bigger shields because the defense is 5 rather than 4s. They've also got bigger swords. That's why they've got crushing strength 1. It's a shame you can't have them in a horde, but there you go. They're not that. They're only 10 points more for a troop, or 15 points more for a regiment than the Kindred Tall Spears. So I suppose it depends what you want, really. Do you want something you can hoard them out, or do you want with phalanx, or do you want something that's got a bit of defence and a bit of hitting? Forest Guard then. Speed 6, melee 3+, defence 4. Troop, 10 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 105 points. Regiment, 12 attacks, nerve 15, 17, 165 points. Special rules, elite, melee, Pathfinder, Thunderous Charge 1. I suppose these are kind of like I don't really know how to understand it really. Are they kind of like dwarf berserkers? They haven't got the berserker keyword, they've got tracker. I'm not sure what to think of them, and how you'd model them, to be honest. Comment below, I suppose. They hit on 3s, they've got Thunderous Charge 1, they've got Pathfinder. Have them in regiments. The nerve can help. Have them in troops seems a bit nothing, I suppose. Palace Guard, speed 6, melee 3+, and defense 4. 10 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 105 points. Regiment, 12 attacks, nerve 15, 17, 160 points. Horde, 25 attacks, nerve 22, 24, and 265 points. Crushing strength 1, elite melee. Yeah, do you want the Shield Watch, which are a bit more defensive but don't hit as accurate, or do you want the Palace Guard that are a bit more squishier but hit on 3s and you can have a horde of them? It swings and roundabouts, I suppose. They are slightly more expensive than the Shield Watch, but I think they make up with it for the fact they hit on 3s. So the heavy infantry then on page 261. Hunters of the Wild, which are an irregular unit. Speed 5, melee 3 plus, defense 5. Troop, 12 attacks, nerve 10, 12 and 105 points. Regiment, 15 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 160 points. Has Pathfinder and Scout. I'd probably go with a regiment of these because, or would you? Nah, I'd probably go with a troop. The difference in attacks, nerve values, I don't think is enough to make the point to take them as a regiment. Keep them as outflanking units, keep them small, so your opponent's got more things to worry about. 105 points, they're not that bad. So next we have the range unit found on page 262. Starting with the Kindred Archers. Speed 6, melee 5 plus, range 5 plus, defense 4. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 90 points. Regiment 10 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 120 points. Horde 20 attacks, nerve 21, 23 and 210 points. They have bows which are 24-inch range and elite range, so they can reroll once to hit at range. They're not bad. They're fairly standard range unit. They can't move and shoot without taking a penalty, which is a bit surprising. But you know, do you want fairly cheap archers that can reroll to hit? Take these. Next we have the Kindred Gladestalkers, which are an irregular unit. Speed 6, melee 4 plus, range 4 plus, defense 3. Troop, attacks 8, nerve 12, 10, 12, 130 points. Regiment, 10 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 175 points. They've got elite, pathfinder and scout, and their bows have got steady aim. How many points different are we talking? They are 40 points different for a troop, but they can move and shoot without penalty on their bows, and they hit a lot better, and they're better in close combat. They're a bit squishier, but they hit in close combat at range a lot better. They haven't got elite range, they've just got elite, so works for close combat and range, which is good. The regiment's got 10 attacks. It's 55 points different. Probably keep them as a troop, to be honest. The points difference of 40 might seem a lot from the Kindred Archers, but hitting on 4s with steady aim and scout and pathfinder, that can really change here. Theoden Seaguard. Speed 6, melee 4 plus, range 5 plus, defense 4. Regiment, 12 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 165 points. Horde, 25 attacks, nerve 21, 23, 290 points. They are expensive. Elite, brackets melee, phalanx, and they've got bows. They are trying to be everything to everyone, but I don't think they're anything to anyone. I can see the reasoning behind them. Big a lot of them with spears, and they've got bows as well. They're trying to be the infantry and the range stuff all in one. The problem is trying to be everything all in one means, I suppose you could say you could hoard them up and then it stops the thunderous charge. Plus, when they move back because of how it works now, you can either stay locked in combat or you can move an inch back. If you're lucky enough to take no damage or maybe not take much damage, get a spell to get rid of the wavering if it's possible. Unleash your bows. It is a unit that your opponent's going to have problems with if they don't get rid of them. I've just changed my mind just talking on it now, to be honest. I can see the point. The Cavalry then, on page 262. The Stormwing Cavalry. Speed 9. Melee 3 plus, defense 5. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 11 13, 140 points. Regiment 16 attacks, nerve 14 16, 215 points. They've got elite, melee and thunderous charge too. They hit pretty hard and they've got fairly good defence. The problem is if they don't get the charge and they're charged, they aren't going to be as strong. Yes, they get the counter charge, but after that they are sitting pretty because they haven't got any crushing strength, though they can hit things. They're just wounding a bit off. The Silver Breeze Cavalry then, they are an irregular unit. Speed 10, melee 4+, range 4+, defense 4+. Troop 7 attacks, nerve 11 13, 130 points. Regiment 14 attacks, nerve 14 16, 200 points. They've got nimble and they've got short bows, which are 18-inch range, elite on the range stuff, and they've got steady aim, so you can move 10-inch and still shoot your 18-inch bows. That's not bad. I'd probably take them over the Stormwind Cavalry because they shoot on 4s. They can move about a bit more wherever they want. They've got nimble, so that helps the manoeuvrability. Even though they're not as heavy as the Stormwind Cavalry, they're still hitting on 4s, so they're not horrible in close combat. They're just not. They're more for moving around, shooting at people. So next we have the Swarm on page 262. The Battle Cats. Yes, you can. On each sprue you get one little cat, so you can glue them on the large 40mm bases. Make a unit of them. Speed 7, melee 4+, defense 2. Regiment 9 attacks, nerve 10 12, 80 points. Special rules, elite, melee against swarms only, which is okay, fine. Nimble, vicious, melee. 9 attacks, 80 points. They're all right, I suppose. Large Infantry, found on page 262. The Forest Shamblers, which is a regular unit. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 5. Regiment, 9 attacks, nerve, dash 14, 120 points. Horde, 18 attacks, nerve, dash 17, 200 points. They've got crushing strength 1, pathfinder, scout, shambling. These aren't bad. These aren't bad at all. These are kind of like the answer to the elementals of the different armies that can have elementals, or the Eloise / Ogre Palace Guard for Basilians, or anything like that. These are kind of like the elf equivalent. They are a bit slow, so they can't move at the double, but they are hitting on 4s, defense 5. They're fearless. They've got quite low attacks. And they've got Scout and Pathfinder, which means they've got a bit of manoeuvrability in a sense. So the Chariots then, found on page 263. There's only one, it's the War Chariot, which is an irregular unit. Speed 8, melee 4+, range 5+, defense 4. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 12 14, 135 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 14 16, 170 points. Horde attack 16, nerve 16 18, 215 points. And Legion, yeah, 6 of them, 20 attacks, nerve 20 22, and 240 points. They have elite and thunderous charge 2, and they've got short bows, which are 18-inch range. And for a troop, they've got 4 attacks. For a regiment, they've got 6 attacks. For a horde, they've got 18 attacks. And a legion, 10 attacks on the bows, short bows. And they've got steady aim, so they can move 18-inch and still shoot them, which is not bad. They've also got thunderous charge too, so I'd probably make them as big as possible. With 20 attacks and thunderous charge too, it's going to hurt. The Large Cavalry then, on page 263, the Draken Riders, which are irregular. Speed 10, melee 3+, defense 5. Regiment, 9 attacks, nerve 12 14, 165 points. Horde, 18 attacks, nerve 15 17, 275 points. Crushing strength 1, elite, melee, fly, thunderous charge 1. They are kind of like the Eloy for me Basileans, but they are a bit more expensive because they've got thunderous charge and they've got elite. But let's face it, having people riding smaller dragons in units, that's not really a bad thing. And you can hold them up with 6 of them. That is going to look amazing. And they're a pretty good unit to just scare people off. People are going to target them. And if they get into your combat, into your units, you're doing something wrong. Next we have the war engines on page 263. There are 2 of them. Bolt thrower, 6, speed 6, range 4 plus, defense 4 plus. 2 attacks, nerve 10, 12 and 90 points. Bolt thrower, 48 inch range, blast D3, elite, ranged, piercing 2, reload. It's not a bad bolt thrower. You get to reroll once because of elite, and you've got blast D3 and piercing 2. 48 inch range, hitting on 4s with 2 attacks. That's not bad for 90 points. I can do a lot. You can do a lot worse, let's face it. The other one is the Dragon's Breath then. Speed 6, range 4 plus, defense 4 plus. 12 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 90 points. And it's 12 inch range, has got elite on range, and it's got steady aim so you can move and shoot with it. It's not bad, but I'd rather take a ranged unit over them because you're getting a bit more attacks. You're not tripling it's not getting the triple attacks against them when it's being charged. So I'd either take the bolt throw if I had to choose a war engine, to be honest. Heroes then, starting on page 263 and going over quite a few other pages. Tree Herder then, which is a monster. So the heroes then, starting on page 263. Tree Herder then, which is a hero monster, spellcaster rank 0. Speed 6, melee 3 plus, defense 6. It used to be defense 5 if I remember correctly. Post in comments below if I'm right. Attacks 9, nerve, dash 18, 260 points. Special rules, crushing strength 3, inspiring, pathfinder, radiance of life, scout, strider. Spells, surge 8. It's a pretty big monster. It is powerful. It can move at the double, unlike its lower forest shamblers, which it can also surge on them, which is great because you can have that in the front, some dwarfs in front of it, that at the back, some dwarfs in front of it, and then because it's height 5, have some forest shamblers in front of them, so it can go surge on you, and then next turn surge on you, because it's so big. Plus it's got radiance of life, so any friendly units within 6 are getting a wound back, which is brilliant. Next is the Elf King, which is a infantry hero. Speed 6, melee 3 plus, defense 5. 5 attacks, nerve 13, 15, 100 points. Fairly decent. Crushing strength 1, elite, melee, individual, inspiring, mighty. Options: mount on a horse, increasing speed to 9, increase and changing to hero cavalry for 35 points. It's not bad. Saber-tooth hunting cat for 10 points. I can see. So if you have noticed, or if you haven't noticed, none of the units other than the heroes so far have got the saber-toothed hunting cat. This just means they get duelist so they can hit a bit better against other heroes. Yeah, I can see that. For 10 points, maybe. The Shard Blade, which is a once per army thing. Increase melee to 2 plus for 15 points. I would probably take this because you've got crushing strength 1, and even though you're only 5 attacks, you're hitting on 2s, that is going to hurt a lot. So next one is Lord on Drakon, hero, large cavalry. Speed 10, melee 3 plus, defense 5. Excuse me. 5 attacks, nerve 13, 15, 170 points. Crushing strength 1, I thought it'd be crushing strength 2, but oh well. Elite, melee, fly, inspiring, nimble, thunderous charge 1. They're not bad, they're not bad. They can fly, they've got a fair number of attacks. Thunderous charge and crushing strength, it's not bad. I'd probably take a unit of Dracons because the points difference. I mean, nerve of 13, 15, nerve. You're only 5-point difference. So take a unit. They're slightly better, to be honest. The Elven Prince, a hero infantry, speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5, 3 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 55 points. Crushing strength 1, elite, melee, individual. Mount on a horse, increasing speed to 9 and changing to hero cavalry for 25 points, and a saber-tooth hunting cat for 10 points. That's going to make it 78 points. It's just a cheap hero to get some sort of close combat involved for 55 points. It's not terrible, I suppose. The army standard bearer, speed 6, melee 4+, defense 4. 1 attack, nerve 10, 12, 60 points. Elite brackets melee, individual, inspiring. Mount on a horse, speed 9, hero cavalry for 25 points. I suppose you're going to have to mount him on the horse so he can move about wherever he wants. There's a better way to get inspiring. I mean, there are better ways, and it's not the worst army standard bearer or holy icon user, cheap inspiring units, but there are better ways to get inspiring, I suppose. The Elven Archmage, Dragon Mage, righto, hero infantry, spellcaster rank 2. Speed 6, melee 5+, defense 4. Attacks 1, nerve 11, 13 and 60 points. Individual, Master of Magic. This unit can reroll all hits rolls of natural unmodified 1 with Bane Chant, Heal, Hex, Lightning Bolt, Mind Fog and Wind Blast. Options, mount on a horse, speed 9, change it to hero cavalry for 25 points. And then, because you have to buy all the spells, you've got the option of Bane Chant 2 for 20 points, Heal 4 for 30 points, Hex 3 for 15 points, Lightning Bolt 5 for 35 points, Mind Fog 2 for 15 points, and Wind Blast 6 for 25 points. It's a fairly decent magic user, but be careful because once you add up them spells, it's going to cost a lot. I'd only take probably 2 at the most to keep it somewhat decent point cost. If you take a lot, you are taking a chunk out your army which you're probably not going to need to take that big of a chunk out of. So next we have the Dragon Kindred Lord, which is a hero titan. Speed 10, melee 3+, range 4+, defense 5. 10 attacks, nerve 17, 19 and 315 points. He's an expensive guy. Crushing strength 3, elite, melee, fly, inspiring, nimble, and he's got Dragon's Breath, which is a 12-inch range weapon and steady aim. So he's got 10 attacks, hitting on 4s, is just basically breathing fire because it's a bloke riding on a dragon. Well, come on, if you've got the points cost in your game, you're going to take one, aren't you? Especially if you're building around, taking a load of dragons and that sort of thing. Noble War Chariot. Hero Chariot, yeah. Speed 8, melee 3+, range 4+, defense 4. Attacks 3, nerve 11, 13, 100 points. Special rules, elite, nimble, thunderous charge 2, short bow, which is 18-inch range and steady aim. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a bit low on the attacks, but it is one bloke on a chariot, so you might as well just take a load of normal chariots and have done that way, in what I think. So we have the elite units. There are 3 of them. Madriga the Elf. Speed 7, melee 3+, range 3+, yeah. Defense 4. 3 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 125 points. Elite, individual, inspiring, self only. Pathfinder, stealthy, scout. Has a bow which is 24-inch range and piercing 2. So it hits on 3, so if you move you're hitting on 4s. That's not really a downside, let's face it. Trick shot, once per game, Madriga can use the following ranged weapon. Trick shot, which is 48-inch range. It's 1 attack, blast D6. Piercing 2 ignores cover, which she turns into a mini war engine. Just firing a load of arrows all over the place, which is pretty impressive. that 125 points might seem a lot for three attacks for piercing 2, but she can move. Even if she moves and shoots, she's shooting on 4s. Even with cover and stealthy, the way she can still shoot things. Pathfinder, stealthy. She's got stealthy herself, so your opponents are, I think, at -2 to it, because I'm pretty sure you're still at -1 to in individuals. And because you're stealthy, you're another -1. Plus, if you're in cover, which you really ought to be with her, you're another -1. So you are going to need 5s and 6s if you can hit her. Tidrion, I've messed that name up. Dragon Lord. Speed 10, melee 3+, range 4+, defense 5. Attacks 10, nerve 18, 20, 345 points. He's an expensive one. Brutal, crushing strength 4, elite, fly, very inspiring. That's why he's very expensive. Has also got Dragon Breath, which is 12-inch range, 12 attacks, steady aim. So yeah, he's just basically a souped up Dragon Kindred Lord. He's a hero titan, by the way. He's ridiculous. Yeah, why not? Why not? You're spending nearly 350 points on him. Why not take him? I'd take him in games of 2,500 or more because he's expensive. Argus Rodia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Where's my camera gone? Work with me. Argus Rondier. I know I've said that wrong, but there we go. Speed 6, defense 5. Got no attacks. Nerve is dash 13, 70 points. Individual, inspiring. And he's got the Altar of the Elements. As long as this unit is present and in play on the table at the start of each range phase, you may select a single friendly core unit on the battlefield regardless of range or line of sight. This unit is granted the inspiring rule until the start of your next turn. This is a slightly more expensive way than the army standard bearer to get inspiring. Plus he's going to be standing at the back while everyone else is pushing forward. So you can have inspiring one turn, or you can have inspiring, or you can. It's not that expensive either. Plus his range 6-0 is range 6, and it's not. And the Altar of the Elements rule is not a ranged attack, so it can go at the double and still throw inspiring about. Plus he's inspiring himself, so anyone within 6 of him is still getting the inspiring effect. So that's not terrible. So the Elves then. They are a really, really decent army. They hit pretty well. They have good range units. Yes, they are a bit weak on the crushing strength stuff, but they are very accurate. They're a little bit squishy, but they've got good cavalry units. They've got some good big cavalry units. They have large cavalry stuff. Their war engines aren't bad either. You can take some anti-charging range units, which is a bit different, I have to say. They can also take some really, really nice heroes. I mean, the Elven Archmage you can customise to be offensive, defensive, or somewhere in between. You can have the Tree Herder, which can help the Forest Shamblers, or can just pound people and maybe heal people a little bit. You've got one of the most brilliant, I think, unique units in Argus Rodnir. Just thrown out, inspiring all over the place. It's brilliant. So that's it for now. Oh, shit.